That the Yahweh created the Isha in order to mate with the humans. So Genesis 2 verse 23 says, the flesh of this one shall be chosen. The Isha will marry the humans. And now that makes sense because it says they're now using a technology that makes them appear beautiful, a technology that the Yahweh gave them, but that was forbidden by the early creators. In Genesis 2, it says initially they were bare and were not confused. And in chapter 3, the meaning of bare becomes clear. We're told the Yahweh wear clothing of light. The image is their outward appearance. So anyone who is bare is one who is not using the image, not wearing the cloak of light that changes their appearance. So Genesis 3 tells us the Isha and the humans with them started using this cloak of light, and they also learned how to distinguish between those who were wearing the cloak and those who weren't. And this cloak of light is all throughout the Bible. It's the coat of many colors that Jacob gave to Joseph. We know colors are frequencies of light, so Joseph's coat of many colors was a coat of light. And we're told in Revelation 13 that the image is a deceiving clothing of light. And in Genesis 3, we're told the shaft is what changes the Isha's appearance, making them beautiful. So the shaft is a shaft of light. We're also told Satan transforms into an angel of light, and we know Satan is another name for the serpent, which is the image. It's saying, should the Isha use the reward of the shaft and have children for a long time, shall the priest and the prophet be slain in the sanctuary of the Adonai. So Lamentations 2 tells us the Yahweh set up the horn, the Isha are using the shaft to produce children, and the Adonai will take away their beauty, the cloak of light, the image that they're using in order to mate with the humans to produce children. So that confirms another connection between the Isha's beauty, the cloak, and the purpose of that beauty cloak, which is to mate with the humans. So we're told in Lamentations 2 and Isaiah 3 that those who use the technology that makes them beautiful will be cast down. The technology will be taken away from them. And in Genesis 3, it tells us the ones using the image technology are the Isha and the humans with the Isha. So there are both humans and hybrids using it. But we also know the image came from Yahweh. They were the first ones using it before the Isha were created. So both Lamentations 2 and Isaiah 3 say the Adonai will take this deceiving technology away, and the daughter of Zion and the Yahweh will be bare. So we left off in Genesis 3 verse 7 that says, and the appearance of them both blossomed, and they learned to distinguish who was bare. And the next part of this verse may be the most important point of all. It says, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. But this word translated as leaves, number 5929, also means branch. So it says they sewed the fig branch together and made themselves aprons, or number 2290, which also means armor, either aprons or armor. And notice this word stems from 2296, which means to bind on. So it says they sewed the fig branch together and made themselves bound on armor. So verse 7 says, and the appearance of them both blossomed, and they learned to distinguish who was bare, and they sewed the fig branch together and made themselves bound on armor. And this bound on armor, or apron, is also referenced in Isaiah 3. Is said in verses 20 and 24 that after their beauty is gone, that attire of the breathing substance of human bodies, the serpent charming enchantment, It says, after that is gone, it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of an apron or armor, an encircling robe. So this is confirmation again that the putting on of the apron armor is actually the putting on of the image, the cloak of light, the attire of the breathing substance of human bodies, the serpent charming enchantment, the changeable suits of apparel, the covering membrane, the coat of many colors, or the cloak. So we know the texts tell us the image technology is made of light, and light is electromagnetic radiation within a certain portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. Specifically, visible light is the portion of the electromagnetic spectrum that human eyes detect. So the Bible tells us the cloak is made of light. Light is electromagnetic radiation, and an electromagnetic field looks similar to a ring. Even the magnetic field around the earth is shaped like a ring. So the appearance ring in Isaiah 3 may refer to an electromagnetic field. The human body also produces magnetic fields. The first valid measurement of a magnetic field produced by a human body was done in 1963. But the book of Revelation says, starting in number 6 here, it says, the image deceives by the means of the mark. So it says, the Lamb who speaks like a dragon was given the mark to make the outward appearance of the beast. And that mark, it says in number 11 here, is also put on the right hand or the forehead, and they buy or sell with it. So we know they're already doing that with the RFID chip, and we know they also have microchip tattoos that they're doing the same thing with. So at this point, it does look like the microchip itself is the mark. So that means, because it says here that the mark is how they are able to create the outward appearance. That means that the cloak of light, the outward appearance, is made with the help of microchips. In other words, it's microtechnology. And this is a concept that can be conceived of in modern times. It's depicted in modern television and movies regularly. It's sometimes called shape-shifting. And it has been in the Bible for thousands of years, only it was covered up until now. So finally, the reference to the fig tree in Genesis 3:7 is possibly the most important point. It's another code about the timing of this event. So Jesus said in Matthew 24:32, now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and puts forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh. So he was telling us that the fig tree is a parable or riddle. In other words, it's code. In Hosea 9, we're told the first ripe in the fig tree are the fathers of Israel. And Israel became a recognized world nation in 1947. That's common knowledge. Many have recognized that the emergence of Israel may be what Jesus referred to when he mentioned the branch of the fig tree putting forth leaves. If that's true, and Jesus was referring to 1947 when he said the branch of the fig tree will put forth leaves at that time, then the sewing together of the fig tree branch in Genesis 3 may also refer to 1947. Genesis 3 tells us the fig tree branch was sewn together by the Ishah, the hybrids, and the humans with them, and that occurred in Eden, which we know is near Mesopotamia and modern-day Iraq. Also notice Lamentations 2 mentions the footstool in verse 1. It says, Adonai covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud and cast down the beauty and remembered not the footstool in the day of his anger. So we'll add that here. It says the footstool is the beauty. The rattling of the feet is the decline into the grave by seductive appearance, and the bones of the feet represent the marriage between the humans and the Isha. So we have multiple scriptural confirmations that the deception by the cloak of light disguise and the marrying between humans and hybrids is happening in modern times. So verse 15 can also say, it will put hostility between the Isha and their offspring will bruise the head and bruise the heel of the foot. This ties into Isaiah 1, which also talks about the daughter of Zion. It says in excerpts of verses 6 through 8, from the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence. It is desolate, as overthrown by strangers, and the daughter of Zion is left as a besieged city. It's talking about the offspring of the Isha. From the sole of the foot to the head there are bruises. It's a reference to Genesis 3:15, which we're told refers to the offspring of the hybrids and describes the ramifications of using the shaft of harmful prosperity, the image. This also ties into the book of Daniel. Daniel 2 tells us the head of the image represents Babylon, and the feet of the image represents the final world government that will be destroyed by a giant meteorite. In our close examination of that, we discovered that it appears we are in Daniel's feet phase right now, which Daniel specifically said will be the time when they mingle with the seed of men. So we'll add that to the timing references. The offspring of the hybrids will bruise the head and the feet. That is the fourth reference to the feet that we found. And because of Daniel, number 6 here, we were given an exact time period in which the feet occur, during the Fourth Empire at the rise of the little horn. And Daniel confirmed they will mingle with the seed of humans during the feet. So that's 5 references to the time period of the feet so far. Number 5, the marriage between the humans and the Isha is the bones of the feet. Number 6, the feet occur at the end when the little horn rises. Number 12 here, the daughter of Zion leads the decline into the grave with seductive appearance at the rattling of the feet. That's Isaiah 3, which gives us more phrases for the image technology than any other chapter so far. Number 13, the offspring of the hybrids will bruise the head and the feet. And that tells us who Daniel referred to in number 14 when he said they will mingle with the seed of humans. So we'll add that here as well. The hybrid offspring bruise the head, Babylon, and the feet, which is the time period we're in now. So verse 16 can also say, Yahweh wear a clothing of light. That's number 7 here. And that clothing of light is the image. It was made for the Yahweh by the Yahweh. Then the Isha hybrids and the humans with them got a hold of it. Its use was forbidden by the creators because it interferes with the human lineage. If the cloak is worn all the days of their lives, they will become infertile eventually, probably because there are non-human hybrids mixing their genetics into the line, and no one is aware of it because they can't see them for what they are, because they're wearing the cloak of light disguise, the cloak of beauty. And all of this is apparently happening right now during our time.